Now, the pub has actually provided a fantastic printout with historical information on it, provided to me by the helpful landlord, who, by the way, wanted me to point out that on here it says there was a grumpy landlord. He's not the grumpy landlord, apparently. We'll take his word for it. He was a lovely bloke and let us film in here, so I'm sure he's correct. Anyway, to save me having to recite it, let's read from the notes. Built in the year 1199, during the reign of Richard I, the building's first inhabitants were the monks from St Andrew's Priory, who happily practiced their skills of brewing ales and wines for centuries. Because basically, this building has always involved alcohol. The monks brewed alcohol here long before it became what we know as a public house. In 1539, the evil Henry, as in Henry VIII, scattered the monks far and wide during the dissolution, and the building fell into disrepair. The dissolution of the monasteries, where Henry VIII started to close down or demolish monasteries in his attack against Catholicism. It was purchased by a local farmer in 1542, who carried out extensive repairs and alterations. In 1543, a license was granted and it became a registered inn. It has not looked back since, becoming a well-known watering hole and landmark in the Rochester area. Now, we get to the macabre part, the ghost story, because there's supposed to be a ghost which frequents this place around November. So let's get to it. And it's in relation to this chap right here, this mannequin here. There is also the ghost, a member of the Brotherhood of Coopers, who committed a terrible sin and was walled up and left to die. Look for him on a misty night in November. Now, basically, if you offended the Brotherhood, you blasphemed, you sinned far enough to be punished, you could be bricked in. That meant buried alive. That meant you'd be sat in a small room in a cellar somewhere, and brick by brick would be placed in, and slowly your light would disappear, and you'd see the people bricking you in, and your life, like the light, would eventually fade away through starvation or thirst. Very nasty way to go. And here, there's another reminder of what the place was. Cooper's draw knife found in the cellar of the Cooper's Arms. There's lots of lovely relics in here, but I think personally the pub itself is the relic. They've even got their own charming little coasters, look. Now, one thing I will say is, it's the same as whether I'm in London, Edinburgh, wherever I am. I'm not particularly interested per se in ghost stories. I'm not a believer in ghosts. But I understand there are many that are. But I do love a good story. Most of all, I love a good pub. So whether you have my opinion on ghosts, or you're a ghost hunter, or you just love pubs and history, places like this are exactly what we should be preserving and going out of our way to visit. See you soon.